๊'bɑːrks is an American brand of root beer that was created in 1898. Thank you for your suggestion.
Give me a snowball, spearmint.
Sorry, don't got spearmint. I only do ๊'bɑːrks.
Okay.
Hey, is it true when you're blind, your other senses, like your sense of taste, would be heightened?
I guess so.
I don't know if I should give that to you then, man.
Okay, give it up, give it up. I can see! I can see!
Really?
No. But it got some bite to it, though.
The ๊'bɑːrks Brother Bottling Company was founded in 1890 in the French Quarter of New Orleans by Edward Charles Edmond Barq and his older brother, Gaston. The brothers bottled carbonated water and various soft drinks of their own creation. Early on, their most popular creation was an orange-flavored soda called Orangine. Edward Barq moved to Biloxi, Mississippi in 1897 with his new wife. The following year, he opened the Biloxi Artisan Bottling Works. Edward Barq Sr. constructed the building to house his bottling company, Biloxi Artisan Bottle Works. Once construction was complete, he began experimenting with formulas for an array of soft drinks and eventually developed the recipe for his now famous root beer. By some accounts, he debuted what was later to be known as Barq's Root Beer the following year, but others maintain it was not produced until 1900. Barq's Root Beer was produced in the small building on Keller Avenue until 1937. Barq met a young boy on the Mississippi coast named Jesse Robinson and employed him. Robinson was mentored by Barq and later moved to New Orleans. In 1934, Barq and Robinson signed a contractual agreement on Barq's product rights, allowing Robinson to make his own concentrate, uncommon in the beverage bottling licenses. The two men remained close their entire lives, working on flavors and production challenges. A distinctive difference between the Biloxi root beer and the Louisiana was that the Louisiana bottle was printed in red versus Biloxi's blue. This was to distinguish ownership of bottles, as blue-labeled ones were returned to Mississippi and vice versa. There was also regional taste differences between the various Barq bottlers. While there may have been minor formula differences, water was the most responsible. When Barq's root beer was introduced, it was just called ๊'bɑːrks to avoid the Hires trademark. That eventually went away, and it became Barq's Root Beer. Barq's root beer contained caffeine. Diet ๊'bɑːrks does not, by the way, and usually the fountain version of the ๊'bɑːrks won't either, so they can make regular and diet from the same syrup. In 1938, the federal government banned caffeine in root beer. Barq simply just changed the name of his drink to Barq Sr. after the old man himself. Decades later, the government reversed its caffeine ban in 1960. So they dropped Barq Sr. and went back to the original name, which caused a bit of confusion. The old man supposedly put an end to it by saying, "It's Barq, son, just ๊'bɑːrks." People still say this down on the Gulf Coast. ๊'bɑːrks has come up with interesting slogan and marketing ideas over the year. In the early years, soda was sold in 6-ounce bottles for a nickel. The story goes that his son, Edward Jr., came up with the idea of a 12-ounce bottle and kept the price at a nickel, a first in the soda industry. He said it would give a sense of satisfaction, which comes with getting more of a good thing than the price seems to warrant. Obviously, the 12-ounce bottle, or can, is still the most common size today, but of course is not a nickel anymore. One of the earliest slogans was ๊'bɑːrks has bite, which I always thought referred to the caffeine, but apparently it was a higher level of carbonization. The popular slogan, "Drink ๊'bɑːrks, it's good," appeared on restaurant boards and apparently on pencils and rulers handed out to school children. It didn't cause obesity back in the day, But somewhere along the way in the 1970s, it picked up the banner famous Old Time root beer. But still, everyone called it bbÄRKS is Barq. Ed Jr. died in 1970, leaving the company to his children, Ella and William. In 1976, good year, the Biloxi bbÄRKS Company was purchased by John Oatt and John Coroner. An aggressive television campaign was developed based on the bbÄRKS Got Sparks theme. Their plans to market the brand nationally was complicated by the existence of the Louisiana-based bbÄRKS Company, which owned and operated by the Robinsons heirs. Later, they sold the company to John Coroner and John Oatt. In the 1970s, sugar-free bbÄRKS root beer was launched. In 1990, bbÄRKS partnered with the Pick and Save grocery store in DeKalb, Illinois, to create the world's largest root beer float. It was mixed in an above-ground swimming pool in the parking lot and consisted of 1,500 gallons of bbÄRKS root beer and 1,000 gallons of vanilla ice cream. In 1995, the Coca-Cola Company purchased bbÄRKS, making history with the company's first purchase of a carbonated beverage in the United States. Since 1995, bbÄRKS is marketed with the slogan, "bbÄRKS has bite." Television ads would typically feature a bbÄRKS salesman going door to door to tell people, "bbÄRKS has bite," at which point the subjects would take a sip and have an energetic reaction. Regular bbÄRKS has 22.5 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce serving, similar to green tea, while Diet bbÄRKS has no caffeine. bbÄRKS also contains sodium benzoate as a flavor protectant, which, under the right conditions, is a precursor to the known carcinogen, benzene. It's still used as of 2008. Over the years, bbÄRKS root beer has come in a variety of flavor, including bbÄRKS root beer, Diet bbÄRKS root beer, bbÄRKS zero sugar root beer, bbÄRKS red cream soda, bbÄRKS yellow cream soda, which was produced until the early 1990s, Diet bbÄRKS red cream soda, bbÄRKS French vanilla cream soda, bbÄRKS spicy cherry, which is in Canada, and discontinued is Diet cream soda, bbÄRKS French vanilla. On a final note, the bbÄRKS that is dispensed from the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines is caffeine-free. This is because the system uses the same concentrated microdosed ingredient for both bbÄRKS and Diet bbÄRKS. The only difference between the two is that sweetener is added. So what do you remember about this iconic beverage? Leave a comment, or if you want, leave a suggestion for a future video about your favorite soft drink. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.